we'll use all the props, so take your time and grab everything you need. We'll use 2 blocks for sure. We'll be doing some work with putting our head down on the ground, so if you want some padding, a blanket is a good idea too. And then a strap and therapy balls. We'll get some time to roll. And just a suggestion, there's a little bit to fit in class today. But some of you hear me saying this each week. If you could, scooch a few inches closer next to you to the right or left, just to give the people who are fighting for parking in Queen Village, who come a little late, that would be very helpful. Thank you. Hi, Tom. How are you? Good.
Anything else? Do you want me to line it up better? Or?
I think that looks great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing we can do about the blurries.
No. So today,
Yep.
headstand.
Is the Monday that I watched the last
Yes.
time, right?
Yeah. So we'll do a few variations. How about, I was trying to look at the list.
Oh, so to bring it in, so you can look at it.
We'll teach hip opener,
Anchor everything,
yeah.
But you're mostly alive, even if you're not 100%. It's better than have 2 different visions.
Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good.
always a crisis. There's always a crisis. I know, I'm sure it is. But I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It's just hard to live so close to it. Because like I'm good, but it rubs off. You can't help but rub off. Just being calm.
Yeah. Hi.
Person's gonna be fun. First date of toxic plants gonna be fun. First broken student's gonna be fun. It's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine. You're gonna find it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. And yeah. Lots of
For
work.
years. But especially in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Especially to go like it's always something. If you makes so much more sense. Because tiny house is used to chaos.
I know.
Silent.
Almost.
Even surprised. He doesn't know any other way. He like thinks this is what life is. So I'm excited for him. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great for him. It's gonna be great for me.
Yay. All right, y'all, we'll get started.
No, we haven't talked.
Good to see you.
I don't know.
Tuesday. Hi. I was like, is she ever going to return from this incredible trip? She's here. Great to be with you all. If you need any props that you don't have now, Marcy and I are happy to bring them over to you. But on the off chance, everyone looks familiar, but just in case you didn't officially get to say hi to one another, and Anisha and Marcy's here assisting each week. And the way the class will look is we'll kind of swap from teaching and practicing from the mat so that you guys and everyone at home can have a visual, but feel free to interrupt me while I'm teaching, call me over. If there's anything that doesn't make sense or need some clarity, that's what we're here for you. So, thanks for coming. Today is our last day of the chakra series. So for the past 7 weeks, since April, beginning of April, which feels like both yesterday, each class has been focused on a different chakra in the body and how it relates to our practice and how it relates to our practice off of the mat. So as we worked our way up, then for those that were here, anyone have any favorites that they remember? Or did you take the class and then just forget about them as soon as you left? Which is fully fair. There's no wrong answer. Throat chakra one was good. That's when we did the chin stand. Yes. Any least favorites? Yeah. Okay. Chin stand. Chin stand. Least favorite or most? Most favorite. Okay. Thank you. It's always nice to know because I teach the series every year, and you come back, or you know whether they're happening and you come back, or you don't know whether they're happening and you come back. So I just like to see which ones resonate and which ones, you can kind of skip over. But as we make our way up to number 7 today, the quick reminder, the one sentence reminder of what we're actually doing. Chakras, in Sanskrit, the word chakra means a wheel or a spinning disc of energy. I often like to visualize them as little keyholes or portals. When you take a look through them, you get a whole insight to a world of your being that you may not necessarily have access to throughout the rest of your day. Hi, Natasha. So as we make our way up to the one at the crown of the head, this is the chakra where we're working towards. So we've worked our way up from the base of the spine, in the hips, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, in between the eyebrows, and now we come up to the very top of the head itself. And in Sanskrit, this chakra's name is Sahasrara chakra. In English, it translates to 1,000-fold. So if you were to ever look at symbols or pictures of the chakras themselves, each one of them is represented by a different lotus flower with multiple petals. The first one at the base of the spine starts with 4 petals, then we move to 8 to 16 and so on and so forth until we get up to the crown of the head, which is known as the 1,000-petaled lotus. And the significance of this chakra is this is the place where we begin to access the divine, meaning something greater than just ourselves and our worlds. And it's the way that the divine begins to pour itself into us. It's a two-way portal that's constantly existing, constantly aware, and constantly seeing what's there to explore. So by no means is this the chakra that is the easiest way to access, because the ultimate goal of chakras is what? Consciousness, meditation, enlightenment, bliss, nirvana. And on a Tuesday afternoon in the city, those are lofty goals to ask for, yeah? But the way in which we try to experience them is seeing what it's like to get some weight on the crown of the head. So today we'll go through some variations of Shirshasana, headstand, and see what it's like to find weight, awareness in this portal in the crown of the head itself. So there's lots of variations, lots of options and places to be, but we'll see where it takes us. Number 7, the last one of the series, and then we do it again next year. But I'm really happy you guys are all here. Let's begin together in a comfortable seat, however that looks for you. If you'd like to start lying down on the floor, you're more than welcome to do so. You might be seated cross-legged or up on your knees. If you are seated, you might explore what it feels like to sit up on some propping, on a blanket or on a block, so that your hip bones can naturally be higher than your knees. And your low back can really lift and lengthen, just stacking the deck in your own favor. As you let your hands fall anywhere they fall, perhaps in your lap or on top of your thighs. Let your eyes close or soften so you can listen for your breath. When we close our eyes, it's a moment to turn that attention more inward. To begin to notice what it is you see through the dark. Perhaps it's gentle spots of light or color, or any familiar forms or shapes that you've noticed throughout your day. And as you become more acquainted and familiar with the dark, can you listen for that thread of your breath? That breath that cannot be seen, but so clearly can be felt. And as you let each gentle breath dissolve the day and afternoon that was, let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after it, make space for what has yet to come. You let your next inhale move from your nose down into your belly and up into your heart. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through the very crown of your head. A few more breaths just on your own, where each breath moves in, down, and wide. And each exhale pours itself up, out, and through you. We'll begin our time and our practice together with 3 more rounds of that same breath. As you're ready, gather your hands to center anywhere that may feel for you, on your body, or perhaps in front of your heart, in that moment of self-reverence. If your hands are in Anjali Mudra, you might pull your thumbs back to touch your heart, as you lift your heart up into your thumbs to meet yourself where you are. Wait for your inhale as it fills you up. And exhale to offer the breath. 2 more times, just on your own. your breath, pause for a moment. Take notice of any difference that comes when you listen for and truly remember your breath. Now keeping that attention inward as best as you can. Let your hands release and gently blink your eyes open. We'll stay seated for a moment longer, so if your legs are crossed, you might switch which shin or ankle is on top to mix it up, just to find a little length through the sides of the neck. So as you find a tall spine, bring your right hand to the top of your head. Press your head up into your palm so the sides of your neck grow longer, and then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder to notice what you feel on the left side of your neck. Your right hand might slide down towards that left ear, but instead of pressing your head down towards the floor, can you create some resistance? Press your head up into that right palm, and then use your fingertips to lengthen the crown of your head away from that left shoulder. You might keep your left hand where it is. You might reach it to the side, palm up or down. Perhaps you even open and close your mouth to notice that left side of your neck. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. On your next inhale, as you release the right hand, draw your head up through center. Notice any difference from side to side. And for round 2, bring your left hand to the top of your head. Think height first, so press your head up into your palm. And now keep that as your left ear gets heavy to the left shoulder. Again, you might slide your left palm down towards that top right ear. But instead of pulling your head towards the earth, press your head up into your palm. And then like you're palming a basketball, use your fingertips to lengthen the crown of your head away from the right shoulder. Keep the right hand where it is, find any gentle movement as you take a full breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your next inhalation, release your hand. Bring your head up through center as we meet in tabletop. Come onto all fours so we can begin to link breath and movement together through rounds of cat and cow. You might have your blocks framing out the front corners of your mat. Perhaps you use them as you begin to move around. But in your tabletop, do bring your hands as wide as your mat. Let your knees be under your hips and curl all 10 of those toes under to feel the arches and the webbing of your feet. If you haven't already, start to round and arch your spine, moving with your breath through a few rounds of cat and cow. Let's take 4 cycles of breath on your own, rounding and arching, following the currents of your own breath. Feel free to stay in the more rounded or arched shape for a few extra rounds. You might move more forward and back, your hips towards your heels and the shoulders forward of the wrists. But can you let your breath influence and inform the movement as you take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out? When you find your next exhale, come back to table, find your neutral spine. And now watch for any props and friends behind you as you reach the right leg back, curl the toes under, and come in for that calf stretch. Reach through your right heel as you slide your heart, your chest, and the top of your head forward towards the front of the room. Go longer through all 4 sides of your neck. Now after a few breaths on this first side, switch. Bend your right knee, reach back through the left. Notice any sensation, any differences, any symmetry from one calf to the other. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale. Think left heel back as you slide your heart forward towards the front of the room. Back to table on your next breath. Walk your hands a handprint forward of your shoulders. Bring your knees back behind your hips. And with your toes curled under, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take as much time and as many breaths as you'd like to find your way there. In your down dog, you might find some stillness. You might pedal your heels one at a time from side to side. Or you might even bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But as we're moving towards an inversion today in practice, Shirshasana, headstand. Anytime your head is below your heart, like it is right now in down dog, you're upside down. So can you notice for the quality of your breath, a deeper breath in and a longer exhale out. When you find your next exhale, lift the heels, soften your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. You might widen your feet an inch or two, or even soften your knees, all in service of giving your lower back and your hips some extra room. If it feels okay for your neck and shoulders, let your head be heavy. Even slowly nod your head yes, and gently nod your head no as you bow in towards yourself. A big breath in, and a deeper breath out. And apply your hands up onto your hips, stand down through your legs, and on an inhale, come all the way up to rise as you release your hands down by your sides. With your feet right under your hips, wait for your inhale to reach your arms forward and up. And on your exhale, soften your knees, hinge at your hips to fold over your legs. Inhale to lengthen halfway, bring your hands to your shins or blocks as you reach your chest forward. And exhale to fold, plant your palms, and step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Your knees might be up, your knees might tap the floor behind your hips. But as you press your palms down into the ground, feel your shoulder blades broaden on your upper back, and then slide your ears back so your head is in line with your heart. A big breath in, and as you exhale, bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Let your hands come as wide as your mat. On an inhale, rise for cobra, for baby cobra. Press your legs into the earth as you lift your chest. And on your exhale, take it back to down dog, tabletop, or puppy pose for 3 more breaths. The 7th chakra, Sahasrara, the 1,000-fold lotus. The way the divine pours itself into you, and the way you access the divine itself. So here with your head below your heart, and you really listen for the full fluency of your breath. A bigger breath in, and a longer breath out. When you find your next exhale, lift the heels, soften your knees, look forward, and come forward, feet towards your hands into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow longer through your spine. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a long breath in to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky. And on your exhale, let your hands come down by your sides. We'll do that one more time. Follow your breath more than my voice. On your inhale, reach up, touch the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, fold, bowing in, Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. And on your exhale, plank pose, step it all the way back. Press down into the floor, feel the shoulder blades broaden. Slide your ears back so your head is in line with your chest. A big breath in. And on your exhale, bend your elbows to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for cobra, for baby cobra as you lift up through your heart. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog or table or puppy for 3 more breaths. As you feel your breath move from your nose into your belly, and you exhale to push down and forward through your hands to lift your hips up and back towards the wall behind you. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. When you find the bottom of your breath, lift the heels. Soften your knees, look forward, and come forward. Feet towards your hands to your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, hands to shins or blocks as you grow longer through your spine. And exhale to fold, bowing in. Use your own fists. Measure your feet 2 fist width distances apart. And with your toes pointing straight ahead, bend your knees, sit your hips back, and climb your palms up onto your thighs for this first round of chair pose. Check to see that your toes are to the front of the room. Let your knees guide open towards your second and third toes. And now as you sit your hips back to the back of your mat, push into the legs to lift your chest. Feel free to stay here with your hands on your thighs. For to add some heat, reach your arms up overhead. But listen for your breath. Take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Think butt to the back of your mat as you lift your heart away from the earth. On your inhale, come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward, step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. And bring your hands high up onto your blocks, or high up onto fingertips on either side of that right foot. Now wiggle your left foot foot back another inch or two so you get a drop longer in your stance. Stay in your lunge, keep your hands on those blocks or on the ground, but as you inhale, lift your chest, grow long through your spine. And exhale to fold as you straighten your right leg. Twice more with your breath. Inhale through to lunge, bend the knee, lift up through your heart. And as you exhale, fold and straighten your right leg. One more time, take a big breath in through to lunge, bend the knee, lift your heart. And exhale to fold as you straighten your right leg. Now as you straighten the right leg, pause here. Lift your back heel a drop higher up off the ground. And this will help you wrap your left hip to the front of your mat so the right hip can tap to the back of your mat. Notice where the sensation travels in the back of your right thigh. Now keeping your hips as steady as they are, maybe your left heel gets heavier to the back of your mat for that bonus calf stretch. Perhaps you push your palms down and forward into the blocks to flex your right foot and lift your right toes up off the ground. So take a full breath in through the nose. And a longer breath out through your nose or parted lips. Take one more full inhale in, let it fill you up. Stay for your exhale, try to soften the grip of your fingers around those blocks. Now on your inhale, back it up, lower the right foot, bend your right knee, and step your left foot forward to meet your right. Come back into your forward fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, grow longer through your spine. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in. With those feet 2 fists width apart, bend your knees, sit your hips back, maybe hands to your thighs, to your hips, or up overhead. Utkatasana round 2. Now as you hinge from your tush, sit your butt to the back of your mat, and you slide your ribs back so the middle of your back broadens and widens. Slide your ears back to lift your chin, and if your arms are overhead, bring them back 1 more inch in line with your ears. A big breath in. Stay for the exhale, sit 1 inch lower towards the earth, and then big inhale to rise, come all the way up to stand, reach up to touch the sky, exhale to fold, bowing in. Keep your left foot forward, step your right foot back to catch your lunge to the other side. The higher my hands are up on blocks or fingertips, it gives my hips and my torso lots of extra space to find. But as you wiggle your right foot back 1 inch or 2, stay in your lunge, take a breath, lift your heart, grow longer through your spine, and exhale to fold as you straighten your left leg. Twice more on your own. Inhale through the lunge, take the whole breath. As you exhale, fold and straighten that left leg. 1 more, take a big breath in through the lunge, think chest long to the front of the room, and exhale to fold as that left leg straightens. Now in this modified pyramid pose, keep that left leg straight, lift your right heel higher up off the ground for a moment, and as you wrap your right hip to the front of the room, it might give your left hip space to tap back. The dream is you feel that less near the left butt cheek, less behind the left knee, but in the belly of the left hamstrings. Now as much as those hips stay square, again, maybe the right heel gets heavier to the back of your mat. Maybe you flex the left foot to lift the left toes up. But take a full breath in through the nose. Stay for your exhale. You might soften your elbows to the sides as you bow in towards your own self. 1 more full breath in. A longer breath out. And now on an inhale, come back through to lunge. Bend your knee. Plant your palms on your sticky mat and step it back to downward facing dog. Left foot meets your right. Pedal the heels from side to side. Notice any difference that you feel and see. And now on your inhale through to plank pose, come on forward. Exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the breath to rise, cobra. Really hug the shoulder blades together as you lift your chest. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. A full breath in through the nose, and a longer breath out through your nose or parted lips. Now on your next inhale, lift the right leg up and back. Step your right foot forward to catch your lunge. Wait for your inhale to come up to rise for high lunge. Reach your arms, your chest, and your torso to the sky. Feel free to walk the right foot 1 inch or 2 over to the right so your feet are less on that tightrope. But again, like you did in that pyramid pose, lift your back heel, knee, and thigh high to the sky. And even look away from the ground as you stretch up through those fingertips. A big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend 1 more inch into that right thigh. Now bring your right hand to your hip. Keep reaching your left fingertips to the ceiling and tip up and over to the right hand side for a side bend. You can stay here with your right hand on your hip for a lot more steadiness. Or your right hand might grab your left wrist as you tip up and over to the right. But can you slide your ribs back, the ears back to lift your chin as you bend 1 more inch into that front leg. Now inhale to come all the way up through center. Bring your hands to the ground. Step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal the heels. Notice any difference you feel and see. Now a few more times together. Inhale brings you to plank pose. Slide the ears back so they're in line with your heart. Exhale to lower. Chaturanga Dandasana. Wait for the breath in to rise. Cobra Bhujangasana. And exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, float the left leg up and back. Step through to catch your lunge. Wait for your inhale to rise for high lunge on the second side. Reach up to touch the sky. Feel free to heel toe that left foot an inch or 2 over to the left. And as you lift your back heel, knee and thigh high, stretch up through the fingertips, even look away from the ground as you take a big breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend into that left thigh. Now with your left hand on your left hip, reach up through the right fingertips and go up and over to the left for a side bend. Stay right where you are. If you did so on side 1, your left hand might grab the right wrist. But can you slide the ribs back to steady the middle of your back? And then slide your ears back to lift your chin so that there's space for breath to come through. A big breath in. Stay for your exhale, maybe bend into that left thigh. And now inhale to come all the way back up. Bring your hands to the ground. Step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal your heels and notice what you feel. From your down dog, inhale through to plank pose. And as you exhale, lower all the way down onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, make a pillow with your hands. Rest on your forehead, rest on one of your cheeks. Stretch your legs long back behind you. In a moment to really listen for the full depth of your breath. Take a long breath in through your nose and a deeper breath out through your nose or parted lips. Now here, keeping that connection to your breath, we'll take 2 rounds of locust pose, Shalabhasana. So for the first one, reach your arms alongside of you, flip your palms down to face the floor. And with your forehead or your cheek heavy, feel your legs back in space. Hug your inner thighs towards each other. And now hug your shoulder blades towards each other. As you inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, float your arms up off the ground. And exhale to lift your legs up and away from the earth. As you soften or close your eyes, really listen for the full depth of your breath. Inhale to hug the legs towards each other. Think inner thighs towards the sky. Hug the shoulder blades together to lift your palms 1 more inch. A big breath in. And on your exhale, release. Lower all the way down. Rest on one of your cheeks. Rest on your forehead. You might wiggle your hips from side to side. So take a breath into your belly. Feel your low back broaden and widen. Take a breath into your belly and up into your chest. And feel the whole back of your body expand. Keeping that connection to your breath. 1 more round. This time, interlace your hands behind your head. Bring the webbing of your hands together. And press your elbows down into the floor. So it's like you're creating a little hammock for the back of your head. As you press your elbows down, you might feel your armpits lift away from the ground. Now on your inhale, press your head back into your palms to lift your head. Lift your chest, lift your elbows. And as you exhale, lift your legs away from the ground for this version of crocodile pose. Listen for the breath. Think inner thighs towards each other and inseams of your pants to the sky. Now as you press your head back into your palms, lift your elbows 1 more inch, a huge breath in. And on your exhale, release. Rest on your other palm, on your other cheek. Wiggle your tush or stay still. But feel that breath wash its way over and through you. In this yoga tradition, you're thought to have infinite sides of your body. You have the front body, the part of you that's touching the floor right now. And you have the back of your body, the part of you that's touching the air above you. Your front body, that individual body, the one that you know so well, that others see, that you see in the mirror. And the back body, that universal body that connects you to something so much greater than just you. But the beauty is one cannot exist without the other. So as you take another breath, can you breathe into the front body and feel the back of you expand and widen. And as you exhale, let the front of you get more sensitive and receptive. Okay, after a few breaths here, bring your hands to either side of your chest, press up to tabletop. You can sit back onto your heels, sip some water, and shake out anything that needs to get shaken out. We'll spend a few breaths on our knees. So if you'd like to grab a blanket for some extra padding, feel free to do so. But the first place that we'll go, I love saying this pose in Sanskrit because it just rolls off the tongue. Rabbit pose, Sasasana. Sasasana. So here, we started the class today bringing the weight to the crown of the head. Now we'll add a little bit more by bringing it to the floor. Do you mind if I show it really quickly?
Oh my gosh.
High, the peril is that high buns always get in the way, so you might need to take it out. But the crown of your head has so many nerve endings, it has so much information and so many things that's happening up there. And like I said when we were practicing chin stand, I never think about the crown of my head unless I have a headache, which is more often than I'd like to admit. But when you place weight on the crown of the head, there is a lot of sensitivity. So actually, before we bring our head down, if you can, bring your favorite hand to the top of your head for a moment, and just see what this feels like. Press your palm down into your head, and you might feel the sides of your neck shorten, my shoulders kind of come up. This is a sensation we're looking to avoid. So as you keep the weight in your palm, press your head up into your hands, and feel the sides of your neck and even your upper back lengthen. Now keeping up, release your hand, shake it out. And I'll show you, we'll do this twice. I'll show you one round, and then we'll have the option to do the other. So you bring the top of your head, not your hairline, nor the back of your skull, but the very top, down onto the blanket or down onto the floor. And then once you find it there, your hands come behind your blanket as wide as your mat. It's like you're trying to make a triangle with your head in your palms. You keep your toes curled under, and you breathe here. You push into the palms to feel the crown of your head get heavy. Now, if you took class with me a couple weeks ago, I taught the same one. This math, it's not real math, but just go with me for a second. When the crown of your head is on the ground, you got 100% of weight in your right hand, 100% of weight in your left hand, and like 72% of weight on the crown of your head. Does that make sense? For a total of 1,000. So the point of that is, I want you to think not when you bring your head to the floor, oh yay, the hands, they don't need to do anything. Feel your palms and claw them into the ground. Yeah? So let's try it. If you have anything going on with the neck, shoulders, or upper back where this doesn't feel anything but supportive, you do the same variation in dolphin pose, headless headstand. Your forearms come down, you look at your wrists, and you lift up and take a breath there. Yeah? So if you like your blanket, place your blanket somewhere in the middle of your mat, or no blanket, up to you. But make your way to tabletop. Come onto all fours with your hands behind the blanket. Once your palms are on your sticky mat, do bring your hands as wide as your mat. And now look forward. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and kiss the crown of your head down onto the blanket or the floor. Now what's the math? 100% in the right, 100 in the left. Hug your palms towards each other and feel your head kiss the crown of your mat. Take a breath in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. And now to come out of it, push into your palms. On an inhale, come all the way up to rise and take a seat. How'd that go? Yes?
Do you move your knees forward at all to support any weight?
You can. That was going to be the next variation. You can definitely bring the knees forward. The more the knees come forward, the more weight you'll feel on the crown of your head. So, great segue. The next variation, do that again. Or the next variation to add a little bit more weight is same thing. Crown of the head down. What is it? Yeah, A plus. Okay, just checking. Palms heavy, and then maybe you curl your toes under to lift your knees and hips up. Both feet are going to stay on the ground the whole time, and you feel palms into the earth. I'm hugging my hands together and letting the crown of my head stay heavy. And now to come out, do take a breath in child's pose, because if you come up to take a seat right away, you will see stars, which is what happens. So let your head be below your chest for a moment. Yeah? Everyone has something they want to work with? So come into your tabletop, blanket or no blanket, hands nice and wide, on your sticky mat. Take a breath here. Stay for the exhale. And now lower the crown of your head down onto your blanket and hug your hands towards each other. Stay right here breathing. Or you might curl your toes under and lift your knees and hips up. 100 in the right, 100 in the left, and hug those palms towards each other and breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. And now to come out, you lower the knees down onto the ground, rest for a breath in child's pose, a full cycle in, and then come all the way back up to a seat. Yeah? Feels a little different when the knees lift, a little bit more weight? Good math. Okay, keep that in your memory or forget about it. We'll revisit headstand again, but that was a little appetizer. Can you meet in downward facing dog, please? As you lift your hips to the sky. We'll get into the hips and thighs. Where's the clippy? Bless you. Pedal the heels, take a breath. And now from your downward facing dog, lift the right leg up and back. Step your right foot through to catch your lunge. Wait for your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge on the second side. This time as you walk your right foot an inch or two over to the right, interlace your fingers, bring your hands to the back of your head, and dart your elbows towards the front of the room. Press your head back into your palm, and then use your hands to lengthen the crown of your head to the sky. A big breath in. Stay for your exhale, bend into that front thigh as you lift the top of your head towards the sky. Now keep your hands behind your head or bring them to your hips. Tiny bend in the back knee. Get springy as you hop off your left foot and scoop your left thigh to your chest. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Sit your hips all the way back into your chair for standing figure four. Anywhere your hands go, steady on your hips, on the blocks out in front of you, in front of your heart. Take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Think butt to the back of your mat as you lift your chest away from the ground. And now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Lower the left foot to the ground, reach your arms up, get taller, and exhale to fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot all the way back to catch your lunge. Walk both of your hands to the inside of your right foot. Heel toe your right foot to the right side of your mat. And now lower your left knee and your left shin down onto the floor for lizard lunge. That's it. Once your left knee is down, come up onto your fingertops or blocks. Hug your knees and legs towards each other. And now bend your left knee to lift your left toes up off the ground. Stay right here for that thigh stretch. Keep your right hand on the floor or high up on a block. And reach your left hand around for the left foot. Good. As you hold the foot or your strap, think left shoulder up and back. Hug your right shoulder up and back and see if you can look away from the ground. You might keep your right hand on the ground or on a block. You might climb your right palm up onto your right thigh, or you might reach your right arm up towards the sky overhead. But take a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Can you look away from the earth, lift up through your heart as you bend one more inch into that front leg. Now on your inhale, release the right hand down first. Then let go of the left foot, flatten your palms, and step it back to downward facing dog. Pedal those heels and a breath to notice what you see and feel. Stay exactly where you are. You might lower your knees to the ground. You might take your breaths close to gravity, or perhaps you move through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. But anywhere you choose to go, staying still or moving, when you offer it to the full depth of your breath, in through your nose and out through your nose or parted lips. Now for the second side, when you make your way back to down dog, on an inhale, lift the left leg up and down. Step your left foot through to catch your lunge. Wait for your inhale to come up to rise. For high lunge, on the second side, reach your arms, your chest, and your torso to the sky. As you interlace that awkward thumb or awkward pinky on top, bring your hands to the back of your head and dart your elbows forward towards the front of the room, like you're creating a hammock for your hands. Now press your head back into your palms. Use your hands to lengthen the very top of your head to the sky. Take a full breath in. Stay for your exhale. You might bend into the left thigh as you lift your heart and your gaze away from the ground. Now keep your hands here or bring them to your hips. A tiny bend in the back knee and hop, hop, hop off the right foot to scoop your right thigh to your chest. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Sit your hips all the way back as you reach your chest forward for pigeon chair. The more you bend your left standing knee, the steadier the ground might feel beneath you. But as you feel and listen for your breath, take a big breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Try to lift your chest away from the ground as your hips get heavier to the back of your mat. On your inhale, come all the way to rise. Lower both feet to the floor. Reach your arms up. Take a full breath in. And exhale to fold, bowing in. With your left foot forward, step your right foot back to catch your lunge. Walk your left hand to the inside of your left foot. Heel toe your left foot to the left side of your mat. And lower your right knee down onto your blanket or onto your sticky mat. Again, the higher up my hands are on blocks or fingertips, the more access I find to grabbing onto the right foot. But as you hug the left heel back, the right thigh forward, bend your back knee to lift your right toes up off the floor. Stay here exactly as you are breathing. For your left hand might stay steady as your right hand reaches around for the foot, a strap, the leg of your pants. Think bottom ribs back, shoulder blades together as you look away from the earth. And as you play with your balance, maybe keep the left hand steady. Maybe climb it up onto your left thigh. Maybe reach it up overhead. With a full breath in, down, and wide. Stay for your exhale. Try to lift up through your heart as you bend into that front thigh. Now on your inhale, lower the left palm first. Then let go of the right foot. Plant your palms. Take it back to downward facing dog. And your choice always, stay here with your breath. Lower your knees and breathe close to gravity. Or your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we have done together before. But a steadier breath in and a long exhale out. Take one more full round of breath in through the nose. And a deeper breath out through your nose or parted lips. And as you let your next few breaths bring you back to down dog for a moment longer, from your downward facing dog, walk your feet to come as wide as your mat. Tiny bend in your knees, and one palm at a time, begin to walk your hands back to meet your feet. So you fold somewhere at the back of your mat. Once you fold over and across your legs, let your head be heavy. Your hands might touch blocks or the ground. You might also catch opposite elbows, but a deeper breath in and an even longer exhale out. That's it. Climb your hands up onto your hips. Stand down through your legs and a big inhale to come all the way up to rise as you release your hands by your sides. Sip some water, shake it out. Headstand. We made it. All that work to get to where we're going. So here's some options I'd like to present you. If headstand is something you're comfortable with practicing in the room, if you've done it, you're more than welcome to come more to the middle of the mat. But I would like, if you'd like to come to the wall, there's enough room for all of us to catch some wall space. Bring the short edges of your mat to the wall. You don't need any of your props with you, but if you'd like to bring them, you're more than welcome to. But all walls are fair game, anywhere you'd like to be. And for those seats who are staying in the middle of the room, maybe you just come more in the middle people who are at the wall have spaces for their legs to come through. Thank you. It's been so long since I have gone upside down. Two can fit. You guys good squeezing in here?
Thank you.
Thanks, Elena. You guys say okay. You guys would like some more space? Yeah, it should be okay. You can come to the right or left of it. Everyone finding room? There's a spot here.
If you scoot over, we can get it.
Yay, thank you. We're squeezing one more mat in here.
It's all good. Just don't. I don't really do that stairs.
How about this? Yeah, it's like you don't have to come in here. You guys have to squeeze. Does everyone who wants to be at the wall have space? Okay, thanks for making room. So while you are finding room, getting set up, I'll show you some options of where we're about to move towards. So Shirshasana, where are all my belongings? I have no idea where anything is. Shirshasana, headstand. Sometimes in English it translates to the king. You're good. The king of all poses for some or many reasons. But in a classical Ashtanga practice, if anyone has taken it, you normally end your entire practice before Shavasana with 10 breaths in headstand. We're not doing 10 breaths. We're doing 2, 3, maybe 4. But bringing weight onto the crown of the head allows for energy, for breath, to awareness to start to travel up to a spot that might not get it necessarily the more that we're upright. So we did 2 different rounds. The rabbit pose, Sasasana, is the tripod headstand. The one that I'll show you coming to the wall is where your forearms are down on the ground. It's called Shirshasana A. So for this one, in a moment, you'll bring your forearms towards each other, and we did those variations of bringing the hands to the back of the head for a reason. Your head will come down to the blanket or to the floor in the hammock of your hands. Now as you curl your toes under and lift your knees and hips up, what's the math again? Yay! We're gonna say 68% in the crown of the head, yeah? Use those forearms so the sides of your neck can still stay long. So you're pressing down into your forearms to lift your knees and hips up. And now with the knees bent, you walk it in. You walk it in, you walk it in, you walk it in. And there's a few ways to come up to it. You can do one hip towards your heel and can always keep one foot on the ground and see what it's like to play with some asymmetry. You might lift one foot up off the ground like we did in those first lunge to pyramid poses. And now remember, you're very close to the wall. I want you to think, keep this knee straight, tiny bend in the bottom knee, lunge, no lunge, lunge, no lunge, lunge, no lunge, so much no lunge that your feet and your butt touch the wall. Flex your feet, squeeze your legs together, and pushing so much into the forearms that my head could come up off the ground, but I'm really pressing into those arms itself, yeah? And then to come out, deep, 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 deep. And then you sit up with those noises. If you saw that and you're like, you know what, Anisha? I'm good. Not interested. Fully fair. Some options. You can do the headless headstand version. This will give no weight on the sides of the neck, but it will engage those forearms. It looks the same. Instead of bringing your head down, you're looking forward the whole time and lifting up. For a more restorative version of this inversion, Viparita Karani, you bring your butt to the wall and you slide your legs up the wall and you breathe here. Yeah? Everyone have something they want to do? I'll talk you through it. So come on to, if you're moving into this version of headstand, lower your forearms down onto the floor, lower your knees down onto the ground. And now your hands might come close, quite close to the wall. Good, now let the crown of your head kiss the floor between your hands and breathe here, take a breath. Good, with your toes curled under, lift your knees and lift your hips up. 100 in the right, 100 in the left, 62% the crown of your head. And now lift your favorite leg, straighten your knee, flex your foot. Stay here, you might switch sides. And then you might come straight down and take a break. Or if you'd like to lift a leg, walk your feet in towards your elbows. Lift your favorite leg. A tiny bend in the bottom knee to lift both feet and your tush to the wall. Go, bring your elbows closer together next time. That's it. And then when you want to come out, one foot down, the other. Do rest in child's pose for a few breaths. Before you come up to a seat. How'd that go?
Great.
Yes. I know, take your time.
When I was up, I was thinking about my tailbone.
Yes.
It was like, should I be curling? Like, if it was a cat-cow motion, or should I be lengthening?
Lengthening. Yeah, I think of it, we try here and avoid the word tuck the tailbone or scoop, because when you do that, I lose awareness in the shoulder blades. So the imagery I like to think of, and if this works for you, great. If it doesn't, feel free, is you have paper weights on your sitting bones, like anchors, and they're going straight down to the floor. So instead of tucking the tailbone, I'm trying to think, lengthening the sitting bones, and that engages my low belly. Yes?
How are your hands interacting with your head when you're upside down?
Yes, I know how. My pinkies are pressing down into the floor. My elbows are, I find that when my elbows are really wide apart, this way, it gets very weebly very quickly. So I'm almost trying to make a triangle with my elbows and my head. Does that make sense? Yeah? So that when they come close, it creates a really solid foundation. Now, I didn't mention it, but some of you guys were doing it regularly. Each person has their own preference of headstand. I like this one for me because there's so much more surface area down on the ground. There's just more of my body touching the floor. Some people prefer the tripod headstand. I know every time I've taught this, folks will come up to me and be like, I did this as a kid. And he can vouch for it because my dad is here and I throw him under the bus every class. I was definitely like feet on the floor kind of. I wasn't tumbling or doing gymnastics as a child. Every instinct in my body, every time I go upside down, is like, Anisha, don't do this. Your feet are supposed to stay on the floor. But when you do the tripod headstand variation, it gives more range of motion for your legs itself, or a different range of motion for your legs itself. Neither is better, neither is worse. It's just completely personal preference. So we're going to play with it one more time, because again, we only do this so often, every few years. You can do exactly what you just did, because often when you do something the second time, you learn something different. You take an extra breath or two. Or if you got to that version of Shirshasana and you said, okay, this is fine, what else? The other variations include, if you're in this version with the forearms down, you might tuck your toes and lift your knees and hips up, and then here you walk it in. I'm walking it in, I'm walking it in, I'm walking it in, I'm walking it in so much that my feet lift up off the floor simultaneously, and then they lower down again, and then they lift up again, and then they lower down again, and then they lift, and then they lower, maybe 7 times for the 7th chakra, maybe 0 times, maybe 1 time. But here, once you come down to rest, really let the top of your head come down onto the floor. Yes? If you want to try it, you can try the other leg too. I always have a preference for lifting one leg up at a time. If you wanted to come into the second version of headstand, try the leg that doesn't go up so as frequently first. One more round? Something to play? Call either Marcy or me over if you need any help whatsoever. But in your forearm stand, or lower your forearms down onto the ground. Interlace your fingers or come into that tripod. Once the crown of your head kisses the floor, think elbows close together. Now curl your toes under, lift your knees and hips up. Take a breath. Yes? And now walk it in, 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 walk it in. And lift your favorite leg. Good. Straighten this knee and flex your foot and then elevate it. There you go. You're very close to the wall. There you go. Push into your forearms. Good. Now flex your feet, straighten your legs, and try to hug those legs together. Yes. You did okay? And then to come out whenever you like. Maybe you take an extra breath or two. Yes.
Am I doing this right?
You're doing it right. Now here, try this. Bring your legs closer together. Squeeze my fist with your heels. There you go. And now push into your forearms and think tail towards your heels. Like tuck your tailbone under. Yeah. Squeeze my fist. Squeeze my fist. Squeeze my fist. This one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that'll help the heels come away. Yay! Everyone catching a glimmer, getting a flavor of what you wanted to do? Headstand was one of those poses that in the genre of inversions, you have Shirshasana, headstand, you have shoulder stand, Sarvangasana, forearm stand, handstand, and in headstand, there's just the most amount of your surface area on the ground. So it's the inversion that gives you the flavor for the inversion. Does that make sense? Like it helps you feel what it's like to have your legs above your heart versus coming into handstand when it's just your palms and a hope, a wish, and a prayer on the floor. So we do this pose during the seventh chakra for the crown of the head because there's not many poses in the yoga spectrum where you are quite literally balancing all of the weight in the top of your head itself. And the thing that I love most about inversions is that it's a pose, hopefully the whole yoga practice does this eventually, but there's nothing quite like being upside down in an inversion that doesn't allow it. There's no room for me to think about what my next snack is going to be after class. Yeah, or like what I'm going to watch on TV afterwards. Because the moment my mind wanders, the legs become like sails in the wind in this pose. So not only in an inversion, you're getting weight in the crown of your head, but it is a channel of energy to draw that attention inward so that you can feel where you are, when you are, and doing what you're doing at the time. And the last thing I'll say about this one, the past couple of weeks, every time we've done chakras, I've mentioned each of the chakras has a shadow side or a quote-unquote demon side that they're associated with. And if this is the chakra that's most associated with our access to the divine and the way the divine accesses us, it's how we begin to see a world greater than just ourselves, a world greater than we can even possibly imagine. It's thought that the shadow side to this chakra is that of attachment, meaning in order to achieve bliss or enlightenment, some of the classical yogis who started way, way, way back when, the philosophy was in order to achieve bliss, nirvana, and enlightenment, attachments are your peril. You can't be attached to things, you can't be attached to people, you can't be attached to your life, because if you are, how are you going to achieve bliss and consciousness? And here in this yoga studio, the idea is, yes, that worked really well for them. That worked because they had resources to let that be a possibility. But here, we are yogis who live in the city in the 21st century with relationships, with lives, with houses, with people to take care of. And so attachment isn't quite necessarily a shadow or a demon, but in fact, attachment is a gift, because who are we if we are not with our attachments? Who are we if we are not defined by the relationships that we sustain? So the shadow to this side, in fact, is a blessing, because we practice in order to have sustainable, healthy, what is this word that I'm saying? Two-way street? Yes, yes. Sometimes the words come out, sometimes they don't, but the point is, headstand is headstand, yes, and it's also a way in which to align ourselves more fluently with what's happening with the surface of our skin, so that we can be better of service to the world outside. Okay, the end. Chakras are done. Let's come back, do some hip openers, roll around, and come to lay down. So find your way back to your spot somewhere away from the wall. As you find your way back, we will meet, in fact, in a seat, please, facing the front of the room. Up to you. Yeah. As you find a seat, have a few things handy. both feet onto the ground. We'll do some hip openers. We did figure 4 standing. We'll do figure 4 seated this time. So once you're in your seat, bring your hands behind you, bend your knees, and cross your right ankle over your left thigh. For seated figure 4. Once you cross your right ankle over, flex your right foot to stabilize the right ankle and knee. And now push your palms down into the floor to lift your chest. Grow tall through your spine. There's options. You can close your eyes and stay right here the whole time. Or for something different, you might scoot your butt closer towards your left heel and bringing the space a little closer together. A full breath in, a longer breath out. Now one more variation for Agni Sambhasana, double pigeon. You might heel toe your left bottom foot over to the right side of your mat and lower your left knee and your left shin down onto the ground. It's called fire log pose. It's as if your 2 shins are like logs in a fire stacked on top of the other. And just like Marcy is so sweetly demoing, if that right knee is high, feel free to bring a block or 2 underneath that right thigh to soften the right hip flexor. Your hands can stay on the ground as you lift your chest. You might stay upright, or you might begin to fold forward as your chin hooks over that right shin. But anywhere you are in seated figure 4, in seated double pigeon, or fire log pose, let your eyes close or soften and feel for the fluency of your breath. A long inhale in, and a full breath out through your nose or mouth. Take one more big breath in through your nose, and open your mouth to let that breath go. And if you folded forward on your inhale, come all the way up to rise. Bring your hands back to uncross your legs, and windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Bring your feet wide and drop your knees from right to left. Notice any difference when the knee is turned in versus out. Now the next time your legs come through center, the second side, cross your left ankle over the right thigh. We'll all start in that seated figure 4. Hips are very different. As much as we like to think they're symmetrical, there's slight nuances to each. And I mention that because it might feel more supportive to stay right here the whole time with your eyes closed and your breath full. Perhaps you scooch your hips towards that right heel as you lift your chest. Completely optional to walk your bottom right foot over to the left and lower your right shin and your right knee down onto the ground. Again, you might stay more upright. You might hinge from your hips as if your chin could hook over that left shin, bowing in. But do flex both feet. Soften the shoulder blades, widen the brow. As you take a deeper breath in through your nose and a longer breath out through your nose or parted lips. Take one more full breath in and fill you up. And a deeper breath out to let all of that breath go. If you fold it forward, slowly come all the way back upright. Bring your hands back behind you to uncross your legs. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side with your feet as wide as your mat. Mindful of neighbors and props. Take notice of what you feel as the knees drop from side to side. Now the next time you bring your knees up through center, do a little spin, come to lie on your back so that your head is up to the front of the room. Your feet are to the wall behind you. Have your strap handy, have your therapy balls handy, and have one of your blocks handy as well. And as you come to lay onto your back, bend your knees, bring both feet onto the ground. Bring your feet as wide as your mat and knock your knees into one another. Knock your knees into one another. Let your hands rest on your belly or on your chest as you take a big breath into your palms and open your mouth to let that breath go. individual body, that universal body. Your front, the sides, and the back of your waist. A big breath in, and a deeper breath out. Now as you give your right leg a hug in towards your belly or chest, make some small circles with that right foot or the right ankle. You might spread your right toes or point the toes. Perhaps you flex and spread the toes as wide as you can. Now the next time your right ankle comes back through center, some options. You can either find your strap and bring it around the ball or sole of your right foot, or you can interlace your hands behind your right thigh. As you straighten your right heel towards the ceiling, give yourself enough slack on the strap so that your elbows can touch down onto the floor on either side of your body. And you shrug your shoulders to your ears, wiggle your shoulder blades together, and let the back of your head get heavy into the earth. A big breath in, and a longer breath out. Straighten your left leg long out in front of you. Bring both edges of the strap into just your left hand, or let your left palm hold your right inner thigh. As you bring your right thumb to your right hip crease, wrap your right hip towards the back of your mat, and begin to move the right foot an inch or two over to the left. That left foot will hover high up off the ground. And notice the sensation you feel in the outer right leg. Can you peel the right pinky toes back? Shrug your right shoulder up and back. As you take a full breath in and a longer breath out. Now on your next inhale, draw the right leg all the way back up through center. Bend the knees, slip the strap out, let your strap drape across your belly or onto the side as you give your left leg a hug in towards your chest. Make some circles in the left ankle or foot. Spread the toes, point the toes. Notice all the corners of your feet. And now as that left ankle comes back through center, either interlace your hands behind the left thigh, take that awkward thumb or pinky on top, or find your strap to loop around the ball or the arch of your left foot. Straighten your left leg towards the sky. And as you hold the strap, give yourself enough slack so that the elbows, your triceps can get heavy onto the ground. Shrug your shoulders to the ears, wiggle the shoulder blades together, a big breath in. Even open your mouth to let it out as you release the gripping sensation of your fingers around the strap. And straighten your right leg long in front of you, both edges of your strap into your right hand as your left thumb comes to your left hip crease. Give yourself a little manual assist here. Wrap your left hip away from your left shoulder towards the back of your mat. And 1 inch at a time, begin to move the left foot over to the right. And you feel the left pinky toes peel back towards your left shin. Shrug your left shoulder up and back as you take a full breath in. And open your mouth to let that breath go. And on your next inhale, draw the left leg up through center. Slip the strap out. Bend both knees as you bring them in towards your chest. Perhaps you stay here in stillness. You might make some small circles as you lean from one side to the other. Or perhaps you come into your version of happy baby as you widen your knees. Let your hands catch the backs of your thighs, your calves, or the pinky edges of your feet. And a long inhale in, and a deeper breath out through every direction. Now release the hold of your legs to the earth. Some options this evening. I'll talk us through therapy ball work in the back of your head today. If there's a region that you know, that you prefer, that your body desires, you can take this time to work at your own pace. Or you might also set up early for rest. We'll meet you there momentarily. But for those therapy balls in the back of the head, you can keep them in the tote or take them out. But lift your head up off the ground and pop the therapy balls to the very base of your skull. You have those two bony points at the bottom of your skull, at the top of your neck. These are your occipital lobes, where the muscles in your neck connect to the skull, muscles in the jaw. And just hold the weight of your head. I find if I don't hold them gently, they slip out of the way. You might stay in stillness. Or perhaps you gently nod your head yes. And slowly nod your head no. As you take a full breath in. And open your mouth to let that breath go. You can stay here for a few breaths, or somewhere different. Use your hands to bring the therapy balls an inch or two higher than where they just were. They can be close together or wider apart. As you slowly nod your head yes, and gently nod your head no. There's so much surface area, so much information in the back of the skull. You might even open and close your mouth, let your tongue release away from your upper palate. A big breath in, and a big exhale out. Now after a few breaths, release those therapy balls off to the side, and let the weight of your head drop down to the ground. A breath or two into what you don't ordinarily see, but you can very clearly feel. Now with your knees bent, feet on the ground, reach your favorite arm overhead to roll over to any side of your choice, just for a moment to come up to a seat. We'll set up for Shavasana next. And as we've done a lot of work in the upper body, I'm going to show you one option to set up in Shavasana for the supported park bench. There's two ways to do it. Your blanket comes off the stack like this. You might roll it slightly so it becomes a log. You place it to the upper part of your mat. When you come to lay down, you might drape your chest over the blanket. You might also bring a block underneath your head as your arms come off to the side to create opening in and through the chest. If there's a version of heart bench that you prefer, you're more than welcome to set up for it, or any version of rest that you'd like to set up in. But do have your heads up to the front of the room, your feet towards the wall behind you, and take your time to find your way into as comfortable a way of being as you possibly can. If anything doesn't feel quite right, or anything needs an adjustment, please feel free to wave a hand or a foot over. And sometimes moving your props an inch or two creates a world of difference. Your hands might rest on your body or alongside of you. You might let your hair down or set your glasses safely off to the side. But as you find your way into as comfortable a version as you can be in, let your eyes soften or completely close to turn towards your breath. When we close our eyes, we once again move towards that milky, generative, cooling darkness, where it's through the dark. What is it you begin to see? That molten red at the base of your spine. The orange with the element of water around the hips. Yellow like the rays of the sun in the center of your belly. That lush, vibrant emerald green in your chest. blue in the throat, and the indigo in between the eyebrows, coating the eyelids. As we arrive to the 1,000-fold lotus at the crown of your head, where for each one petal that unfurls, there's another 1,000 waiting to reveal themselves to you. A place in which you access the divine, and where the divine pours itself in you, as you, and through you. So as you let every round of your breath, let your body get heavier into the ground. The heavier your body becomes, the more expansive, the more spacious, and the more divine you may just start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to awaken the body that you're in with any gentle and supportive movement that feels sweet to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you gently tip your head from one side to the other, heavy on its support. Just watching for any props or neighbors around you. You might reach your arms overhead or hug your knees in towards your own chest. But when the time comes, you meet with both knees bent, one or both of your arms overhead, as you roll over to any side of your choosing. As you press into the floor, I'd like to rise to a tall seat, similar to how we started. With those eyes softly closed or softly open. Take a deep breath in, down, and wide. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through every fiber of you. Our time together, we finish with one more of those breaths. You can bring your hands to center anywhere that feels for you. As you take a deep breath in, to let it all go. And bow your head to your heart, or lift your hands towards your head. The simple, it's such sincere gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to each other. We practice right alongside with you. And Marcy and I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for choosing to be here. Thank you. Drink water, take care of yourselves and each other. I'll see you soon for something completely different next month. Couple of announcements. If you have any props or mats to use from the studio, there are wipes here. It's like allergy season. They always get wiped, but nice to have a pass. And starting next Monday, it's already June, but on Mondays in June, in the evenings, I'll be teaching a 4-week series that we're affectionately calling Close Breakdowns to Breakthroughs. It's a very conversational workshop style class where we just break down poses that we don't necessarily have time for in 75 or 60-minute classes. So it'll be things like inversions and back bends, deep hip openers and arm balances, binds and standing poses, and any and all requests. So if you're free, you can come to all, you can come to one, you can come to none, but I will be there on Monday nights. And then Saturdays for all of June, we are teaching, Alyssa's teaching on the first Saturday, and I'll be teaching for the rest, free classes at the Philadelphia Art Museum in the Sculpture Garden. I taught it in September, and it was so lovely. And Shimon, who runs it, in September you got a discount for going to the art museum. If you came to yoga in the morning, you could get a discount to go to the museum, and there's an exhibit going. I don't know if that's still true, but I will find out next week when I go to teach. But if you would like to come, it's BYO mat, free,
What time?
outside, 9 to 10 in the morning on Saturdays. Alyssa will be teaching the first, and then I got the next one, all the June ones. And then 2 other things. Again, Dad is here, so I got to announce it. Him and I are doing a yoga and Hubla class at the roof of the Four Seasons, through Queens, on June 18th. And then Kayla and I are doing a yoga and cello class here on June 21st, on the summer solstice. She'll play live cello, and I'll teach a full spectrum gentle class on the longest day of the year. And that is all. Oh, does anyone else have announcements? Anything that you are doing, you are seeing, we should know about? Keyshawn is here, who will